Go ahead, Gray.
You picked warrior, correct?
Yes.
Have you been looking it over?
Yes.
You're wizard's apprentice, and you didn't pick wizard.
He abandoned it.
Fuck magic. All this stuff happened because of magic. Fuck magic.
And yet you follow a holy warrior.
They don't know that.
Welcome to System Exploration by Unfortunate Ones. I'm Sov.
I'm Nix.
And I'm Graythorn.
And today we are going to be doing a session 0 as judged by Nix in DCC. This is the essentially second mini campaign that we are going to be running, though this one I imagine is going to be multiple sessions as we are moving from level 0 to level 1, correct?
Yep. We're essentially continuing forward from the funnel that we ran in our session 0. And now my players of the 2 characters that survived are going to be able to make a choice of who they want to push forward into their level 1. And then as soon as we're done with this, we'll run an idea I have already, for the most part, finished laying out. And we'll run a level 1 game. Hopefully I'm hoping maybe I could get it done in 1. Yeah, but maybe 2 sessions, and then we'll.
Oh, for the level 1, only like 2 sessions.
I think so. I think it should be. It should be fairly quick.
Whatever makes you, whatever feels like a good length to be able to explore what you want to explore. For anybody listening, this is going to be another session 0 as we actually create our characters or otherwise level them up and go through those mechanics. If you are not interested once more in level 0s and just want to see the actual play, you can skip this video and go to the next in the series, which would be our first session in level 1. Take it away, Judge.
Yeah, and then at least one of the first things I want to talk or say is I will have definitely a more narrative explanation of like the transition of your characters post the events of the funnel. And then what leads them to their adventure. But for now, as a quick synopsis for your characters, I will give you an amount of, I think it's copper pieces or gold pieces, based off of your class that you go with. And the explanation will be essentially, after the events of the funnel, your characters are kind of going to be gathered by the most elder, most senior of the surviving members of your village. Your village is pretty much destroyed. Your Callansport, where you came from. But the surviving villagers all gathered their resources and kind of divvied them out to each other, what was left. And you kind of made your way into the world. That's kind of my excuse to give you what would be suggested in the book, your starting gold equivalent for your level 1 character. And also, because your characters would be already off adventuring, would also be an excuse why your characters would have stopped off at any other village or town that they would have been to get the equipment that you wish. So, do you guys have an idea of which of your 2 funnel characters you want to move forward with? Or do you have any questions just from what I've said so far?
I actually have an idea on narratively how we could push forward as well. Do whatever you want, though.
Sure.
Because, at the end of our last session, our level 0 funnel, Esper, which was my dumber of the 2 characters that survived, Esper, with her super high intelligence, was like, "Oh, I'll touch the magic stuff."
Yeah.
And so she got some like magical equipment and whatnot, and is now otherwise compelled to help people, which I think is a good excuse of like, okay, I'm going to leave my business as a weaver and now begin my venture as someone who lends aid in the nation or realm or whatever you want to call it. And then if you wanted it, just a good excuse would be like, oh, Esper would approach whatever character Gray wants to take with Gray into the campaign and been like, hey, I need a partner for this venture.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Like that setup works with what I was thinking for the narrative. So as far as what is Esper?
Esper's a weaver.
Okay. There's no distinguishing. She's not a dwarf, halfling, or elf, right? It doesn't say that specifically.
It just says Esper. Well, it doesn't. It says name. It says weaver, and then I have the lucky sign, the broken star, and language common. That's it.
Okay, so you have 4 options to pick from in terms of what you want to level up into. You can level up into warrior, wizard, cleric, or thief.
Those are the only 4 classes.
Those are the 4 humanoid classes, because technically you're a human.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
the non-human races are classes.
Yeah.
Okay. So say them again.
Sorry. It is warrior, wizard, cleric, and thief.
I was going to go for more of like a paladin build. So cleric.
Cleric would probably be your closest to being a paladin.
Okay.
So for your cleric, could you roll me 4d20?
Sure.
I'll let that. Or unless you have anything, Gray. Do you know who you're going with?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Wizard's Apprentice.
Is he any of the non-humanoids?
No, she's just a human.
Right?
She.
Yeah.
What are you going with?
Warrior.
Warrior? Okay. Oh, I was also, just to clarify, I was wrong during the funnel. The deed dice does add to damage.
Okay.
So when you had that item that gave you a deed dice, the deed dice roll does get added to damage.
It adds to both.
Yes.
Yeah.
It adds to the attack and to damage.
Oh, it adds to the attack.
Yeah, to the attack and to damage.
Oh.
You should have been added to attack. I believe
No, you told me that it is separate. It passes on its own.
Yeah, maybe I was confused about how to add it, but it is added to both, to attack and damage.
Understood. 19, 17, 8, and 9.
Okay, add all that up. That's your starting gold.
Okay.
I know, it's crazy. It's a lot of gold. But that's for, I would imagine, well, narratively for your character, Esper, because she's been compelled to help people. Everybody in the village who was surviving, your character probably went around helping all of them. And so when there was that kind of town hall gathering where the village kind of reassessed themselves in their position, you probably got a lot of like people walking up to you and thank you for your help and giving you kind of like, donations.
Okay.
You're going with a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give me 5d12?
I need dice.
You got that, Sov? And let's see.
They all made it. Yeah, this is 16. You did.
Oh, did you?
Apparently, I stole your 16.
Oh, you did.
Your regarded dice. 5d12s?
Yeah, 5d12.
These are...
What was that?
And these are for what?
These are for what your character's starting gold will be.
Okay.
So this gets added to the purse that the character already has. And then when I created these characters using the I think it's purple worm. I'll put it in the description of the thing I used to create the level 0 sheets. You have an occupation for these characters. That occupation is going to help add an additional equipment that your character can use in case you want to. I'm not exactly sure what was your character's occupation again?
Weaver.
This is gold, right?
This is gold.
Okay.
You have the additional use of a dagger, so you can add a dagger as part of your trained weapons. And what was your occupation? Wizard Apprentice?
Yes.
You also have a dagger.
And is that a new thing, or is that the trained weapon on the?
Yeah, that's a trained weapon. You should already have your trade goods. You should have like a fine suit of clothes is one of your on your little level 0.
Yeah, the things from the level 0.
Yeah, and Gray has the Black Wirmore.
And a holy symbol.
Yes. And now let's go over the cleric real quick. You are a cleric and level 1 cleric. Level 1, you have your own crit table now. You are on the 3rd crit table and you roll a d8 on it. Your action dice is a d20. Your fortitude and will get a +1.
Hold on. My action dice is a d20, so that hasn't changed.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. Your crit table is now the 3rd table.
And then I'm getting +1 to fortitude and will?
Yeah.
Or it becomes +1? Am I adding +1? Or does it become +1?
I believe you're adding +1.
Okay.
And then you have four spells known. And then you are lawful, correct?
Correct.
You are an acolyte. That is your title.
Does that do anything, having a title?
I mean, it's in reference to the world, if it's relevant. It's just a funny thing that they add into here. So like
Sure.
when you're level 2, you're a heathen slayer. When you're level 3, you're a brother. 4, you're a curate. And 5, you're a father. You, as a lawful cleric, do you want to, because you're granted the weapons you have, Justicia is the goddess of justice and mercy.
Yeah. Justicia.
Yeah, Justicia.
Kind of like Justica. Justicia. Yeah, that's fine.
Or Jessica, that's fine. But
No, I like Justica.
yeah.
Justica. That's a cool name for a god.
Your weapons are club, mace, sling, staff, and warhammer. Those are your weapons that you can now use.
Club, mace, sling,
staff,
and Warhammer.
and warhammer. And your unholy creatures for your god are the undead, demons, devils.
Hold on. I'm sure this will matter. So, unholy creatures are... Go ahead.
Undead, demons, devils, chaotic extraplanar creatures, monsters, e.g. basilisk and Medusa, chaos primes, chaotic humanoids, e.g. orcs, and chaotic dragons.
What's a Chaos Prime?
I think it's like a primordial.
Chaos Prime, Chaos what? And Chaos Dragons?
Chaos primes, chaos humanoids, and chaotic dragons.
Okay.
Something to note about spellcasting for your class is the way that spells work generally in the game is depending on the roll on your table for your spell, you'll have a lost ability, so your spells will just get lost and you won't be able to cast them again for the rest of that day. And the way failure works with clerics is your natural failure range becomes bigger. So every single time you fail, that means you lose favor with your god, and instead of failing your fumble table being negative or just 1, it now becomes 2 and becomes 3. So your failure range becomes wider.
In what would be considered like a critical fail?
Yes, and what you would roll for, like, I believe there's a table for your critical failures.
Mm-hmm.
And then your who you heal, their alignment matters too.
Mm.
So, spell checks against so something that has the same alignment, adjacent and opposed. Adjacent would be to you neutral, and same is lawful. So the opposed would be chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to determine the effectiveness of some of your healing and what your healing means.
Can I heal someone that is chaotic, or does it just, or like, can I heal them and it's less effective, or can I not heal them?
You heal them and it's less effective.
Okay.
And it also, narratively and for the way that this game encourages it, you have to have a reason. So because you are essentially healing somebody that is opposed to your God's will,
yeah,
you have to have a reason. If they are your ally to an adventure, that is reason enough.
Sure.
To be, I need them to help.
Yeah.
To help do the deed that you have sent me to do.
Understood.
So like, what happened?
Understood.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a little bit more fine tuning on in terms of like the amount of dice that you use for when you do heal, and we can, it's. Oh, you can also. What happened?
You're pretty back and forth, and there's
is it funky?
Very distinct audible difference.
Yeah. I'm like turning away to look at the book. I'll keep the book a little higher. Thank you. You do have turn unholy.
What is that?
So it is one of the abilities of the cleric. So a cleric wields their holy symbol to turn away abominations. At any time, a cleric may utilize a spell check to deter unholy creatures. An unholy creature is any being that the cleric scriptures declare unholy. Typically, this includes undead, demons, devils. For more information on turn unholy, we can look at, there's page 96, which goes into more detail.
Yep.
As with the spell, blah, 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 the turn unholy check is made as follows: 1d20 plus personality modifier plus caster level.
1d20 plus
personality modifier and caster level. So those are the two modifiers you're going to use for spell casting. It is your personality mod and your level. Do you have anything good there?
I have a -1 to my personality modifier. And my level is 1. So I have a solid 0 on spell casting. I'm a bad cleric. This is not going to be a good adventure. My character's so dumb and has no personality.
You have lay on hands as well. It's the same thing. It's a spell check.
Same 1d20.
Yeah. And then
caster.
Yeah. And then what one of the things that goes into it is it's based off of the creature you're healing. It's based off of their hit dice. So whatever their hit dice is going to help determine what how much you can heal them. And you do have, you should roll your I know, I just did it again. You should roll your bonus to your health. What is that? Hit points. You have a D8. So roll a D8 for your
5.
You add that to your health pool.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so the whole, when you're what is it called here? Your increased chance of disapproval, which is your disapproval is your natural one. You can make sacrifices to remove levels of disapproval from your character. And sacrifices are wealth. You can sacrifice wealth, or you can sacrifice, let me see, a cleric, blah, blah, blah. Sacrifice vary according to the nature of the deity, but in general, any offering of material wealth counts. Other acts may count as well at the discretion of the judge. Sacrificing wealth means the items must be burned, melted down, donated to the needy, contributed to a temple, or otherwise relieved from the character's possession. They may be donated as part of the special rite or simply added to the temple's coffers. This is not a rapid combat action. It requires a minimum time of at least one turn and the cleric's full concentration. For every 50 gold pieces of sacrificed good, a cleric cancels 1 point of normal disapproval range. A great deed, quest, or service to a deity may also count as a sacrifice at the judge's discretion.
That's actually pretty cool. I actually really like that. The idea of like pushing clerics to make sacrifices to gain approval with their god.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. That's like when we talk about like health rules of like 5e and not liking them because you sleep, or not health rules, but in general resources, health being one of them. It's like, oh, you sleep and you get all of your spell slots back, and you get all of this back, and you get all of that back, and the idea that I could get disapproval to increase my critical failure or otherwise in this game fumble range, making it harder for me to act in general, immediately losing spells.
Yeah.
And having to suffer things on the crit table. Like, to gain that favor back, I have to do roleplay things.
Yeah.
That's cool. I dig that, because that's like, I can't just go to bed. I really don't like any mechanic where the answer is go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Your luck, if you have any luck, gets applied to spell checks to turn unholy creatures.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's 1d20 plus personality plus caster plus my luck mod?
To do turn unholy, the turn unholy action.
Yeah. Does it use my luck up, or
no?
I just get to do that?
You just get to add your mod.
What's my mod? What's my mod? What's my mod? Oh, I didn't rebalance it, but it's 1 plus 1. Okay.
Nice. And then just for your reference, we can go over it. I can go over a little bit, but this is the table to turn unholy.
Yeah, I'll probably have to read up on it.
Yeah, it's a whole series of actions depending on like what your role is. It'll give you, so like for example,
I'll probably want that. Honestly, I'll probably just want that printed out.
Okay.
Same with the fumble table. Well, no, you would handle the fumble table, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's part of like the DM screen. It has it like facing out to the players is some of the like fumble tables.
But at least, the way my ability works, I'd probably want that printed out along with my character sheet, and I imagine my spells, which I'm sure you're going to get into in a bit.
Yeah. You also have, because you're a spellcaster, you have access to spell burn. So spell burn means as part of casting your spells, you can actually sacrifice any of your scores. So you can
including luck?
Yes, luck, also your strength, your agility, any of those scores, any of your actual like the other hard scores on your sheet, you can sacrifice points in that to add to your spellcasting modifier.
In order for it to succeed.
Yeah.
So not a permanent.
It is in this game, scores get healed 1 point every day. So in much how you would heal your HP.
Oh, so you have a current score, and then you have a maximum score and a current score.
Yes. So if you sacrifice, let's say you really need something to fire off, and you sacrifice 6 points in your agility to gain plus 6 to the spell check because you need it. You permanent, or at least for at that moment, you do have -6 to your score, and every day as you heal, you gain 1 point back.
Okay.
And then if you have a full day's bed rest, you get 2 points back. The same thing with your health.
Okay.
Every full day bed rest is 2 points.
Nice.
But yeah, we can go over spells in a little bit. I'll cut to Gray. Well, you have any questions?
No, just spells, I guess.
Okay, great.
Which I'll probably just want to print out.
Yeah. I can give you we could just go over a taste of what some of the spells look like that you can pick.
Yeah.
Gray.
Sorry, I do have one question. Are there like level 1 spells, or am I able to? Okay. Go ahead, Gray.
You picked Warrior, correct?
Yes.
Have you been looking it over?
Yes.
You're Wizard's Apprentice. And you didn't pick wizard.
He abandoned it.
Fuck magic. All this stuff happened because of magic. Fuck magic.
And yet you follow a holy warrior.
They don't know that.
So your alignment matters.
Chaos.
Chaos.
God, we're a bad troop.
Roll 1d12.
My HP roll?
Yes, this is your HP roll.
11.
Hey, there you go.
So does this add to my 0 level HP?
Yes, this adds to 0. You are trained in the use of the battle axe, club, crossbow, dagger, dart, flail, hand axe, javelin, lance, nice, longbow, longsword, mace, polearm, short bow, short sword, sling, spear, staff, two-handed sword, and warhammer. Warriors.
Is it everything?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, you could have just said everything.
I just like reading it.
I don't get training in the garage.
Warriors wear whatever armor they can afford. Let's see.
I sure hope that car alarm going off makes it onto the recording.
Let me see. Everyone's on it? I don't see it. It might be there.
It might be there when you speak, though, because the gate's open.
Yeah, potentially. So you have a +3 to your attack. That's your deed dice. Your critical die on your...
It's not a +3 to my attack. It's a +1 D3.
Yes, +1 D3. Your D dice is a D3, and that's what gets added to your attack and to your damage.
Mm-hmm.
You get to roll a D12 on the same table that Sov rolls on. So the third critical table. You roll a D12 on it.
Mm-hmm.
Your threat range is now 19 to 20. So that's your crit range.
Mm-hmm.
You only have one D20 action dice. Your reflex and fortitude are +1.
I add +1 to them?
Yes, you add +1 to this.
Now, do reflex and fortitude, those are based on... reflex, fortitude, and will are based on, I assume...
reflex is agility. Yeah, fortitude is stamina.
Okay.
Will
so those
is,
will go up when those stats go up too.
Yeah.
Right?
And you are a chaotic warrior?
Yes.
You are a bandit. At least that is your title by alignment. Let's see. You're at first level, blah, blah, blah. So you get to add your luck modifier to attack rolls of a specific kind of weapon. You choose this at first level. The modifier is fixed at its starting value. Neither the weapon nor the modifier changes over the course of the warrior's career. The weapon type must be specific, long sword or short sword, not swords. Do you have a plus to your luck right now?
No, it's a -1. Or you gave us luck though.
I gave you 3. I gave you 3 points at the end of last game.
That read my luck up to 11. So then I'd have a modifier of 0.
Modifier 0. So then it doesn't really matter.
Wait, so say that again. The modifier can't change.
It does not change. This is like a bonus for once you hit level 1. If you have luck, it would have added to the attack rolls for that weapon.
That's a silly bonus. That is a really weird way of doing that.
There are things about this game that are like, I get the flavor that you're trying to hit, and like you're trying to make it kind of a little silly and goofy. But also, yeah, that could be different.
So then, like, oh, you hit level 1, you have +4 to luck. Choose your weapon. Okay, like 2 games in, I'm spending 10 luck on this attack. Cool. All right, I still get the +5 my next turn though, right? Yes, you do. Like, is that a little strange?
There's a whole orders thing, but I don't really care to follow that part of the lore. Okay. There are the mighty deeds of action. We can go over that if you would like. Your mighty deeds of arms. page 88.
89. Well, 89 is where they actually list off the types of deeds. So I've already kind of walked through all these. You don't have to choose a specific deed at all, right? You could just, a deed of action could just be, I do a thing.
Yes. These are just kind of examples of what the deed means.
Oh, is this like the deed that I was rolling with before? That's so cool. I love the concept.
Yeah, I believe at least the way that I read it is like the deeds given here in the book are more of examples. Like this is kind of like a guideline of like what it means to do a mighty deed, but there is some level of interpretation.
I mean, it is like if you look at the disarm deed, it's like, yeah, you have a 50% chance to make them drop their weapon.
Sure.
And then they have to retrieve it on their next attack or they can't use it. And then the next step up is like, they have a 50% chance to drop their weapon, and then it also could be broken or shattered. And then, so like for that set of deeds, it seems like, oh, this is a hard rule for a specific attack for, depending on what you want to do to the weapon.
Sure.
But then when you look at precision shots, it doesn't look like it adds anything outside of a very specific situation. Like the warrior can hit a small object that's nearby, and then you get like an extra 1d4 of damage if you hit it. And then the next step up is the warrior can hit a target that is normally within the province of only the most skilled swordsman. For example, you could shoot someone at 100 yards and then you get 1d5 damage. So
I think what it is just, so at least the way I would read that currently is, for the most part, mechanically what's happening is you're getting that little bit of bonus to damage.
So realistically, it's just the precision shot is just a damage bonus and increases with your deed dice.
Yes, but also for me, that like that 100 yards thing means that
would be like a more hard rule.
It doubles your shot range, or it increases your range of what your close, middle, and long range is. So that's how I would read that. So however you want to interpret it in game, if you want to kind of change it, slight variation to it. The precision shot is just allowing your far range to be extended, or your middle range to be extended. But for the most part, it looks like it is just a bonus to damage, and it looks like it goes up 1 point each.
And then the signature deed, is that just a thing that you declare out of like those previous selections? It's like, oh, I forgot to mention what my deed roll is. That's my signature deed.
Let me look at it real quick again. Yeah, I think this would be like your default. So if you have a signature deed, it will either develop in game if you want to, or right now you could declare what you're like. If I roll my deed dice and I succeed without, so I think it's like if you roll your attack with your deed dice and you forgot to say the thing,
but you rolled a 3.
You still won the deed. This should be your default deed action.
Okay.
It is just a thing you do. Again, you don't necessarily have to say it now. You can think about it. You can think about what you want now, or you could develop it in game. If you just have like a thing you always go to with the weapon that you use, is like, I kind of always go for the Achilles. There's just a thing. So yeah, it's just a default. I think it's just to get away from the idea that like if your judge, if you rolled your deed dice with your action, you didn't call out that you said a specific deed. It's like, well, I'm sorry, you don't get the deed. It's like, no, this is a signature move. This is just by default. I get something,
And then for weapon specific deeds, they give you those 4 here, but in reality, that there could be a weapon specific deed for every weapon.
Yes, I would do that. I would give you. I agree with you that because it's not all laid out. Depending on the damage or the weapon you choose, and you can tell me that now or later.
Well, I'm not choosing it now, but like for example, if I had a dagger, what would you say that weapon specific deed would be?
Oh, so these also look like they're like the signature deeds, which is its default.
So they just apply it to that weapon.
Yeah, because it's like the flail. It says when aimed at opponent's legs, A flail can entangle a triple block. If the character with the flail does not declare any other deed, they are automatically considered to be making a trip attack on a successful hit. So I think this is some variation of the signature deed, which is like the weapon itself has a thing that it does, or like a way to use it. So if you were to use a dagger, I would say maybe for a dagger, it could be like if you're closing the distance, it could be thrown and then retrieved. You know, it is a thrown at the person, stabbed in, and then your character grabs it.
Oh, clerics do not lose spells when they fail. It's just that range that goes up.
Oh, I thought
wizards lose their spell when they fail. It's almost only wizards is how it expresses it.
Oh, I thought in the because the spell itself says if it's lost or not.
Yes, the spell itself, but then it says wizards. Typically, generally only wizard spells are lost when casting fails.
Oh,
clerics suffer a different difficulty. Each time a cleric fails to cast, they suffer a cumulative increase to their natural disapproval range for the balance of the day.
Yes, you are correct. Anything else, Gray? That
no, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward.
Okay. Have you been looking over the spells?
I can't find them, so I'm still looking.
They're in the big spell block is in the 200 range, the 200 page range.
130 is where the wizard spell starts.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for where the cleric spells are. I wonder if it's if it tells you where to look on the cleric class page.
I didn't see it. That's why I've been just kind of running around. Oh my god, I'm only on level 2 wizard spells. Okay, I found clerics. Need to get to page 1. Cleric spells is on page 259.
Oh, yeah, there they are. So blessing. Goddamn, blessing is 3 pages long. Darkness, detect evil, detect magic, food of the gods, holy sanctuary, paralysis, protection from evil, resist cold or heat, second sight, and word of command. Those are your options. What are the ultimate versions of casting blessing? On self. At this level of power, the blessing applies to the cleric and to an enterprise they serve in the name of their deity. Moreover, the blessing bestowed to an ongoing enterprise is permanent, as long as it is favored by the cleric's deity, until either the completion of the enterprise or its dissolution. Note that there is a reasonable factor in the deity's granting of this blessing. Attempting to abuse the definition of a permanent enterprise risks a deity's wrath. The enterprise can be a pilgrimage to a distant shrine, an army with a certain holy goal, a mission to liberate a princess, a sea voyage to encounter new lands, or other such endeavors. All persons involved in this enterprise with the cleric receive a +1 bonus to all activities associated with the enterprise, as long as it remains in the service of the cleric's deity. In addition, the cleric can designate a number of individuals equal to their cleric level who receive an expanded bonus of plus cleric level to all activities as associated with the enterprise. This is such a mighty drain of strength, the cleric loses the ability to cast the spell for 1d20 plus 10 days. If at any point the cleric falls out of favor with their deity, the blessing is revoked. The blessing is magical in nature and can be dispelled temporarily. That's such a crazy. But yeah, you can bless yourself, allies, or an object. Cool. I went over Spellburn.
There was something Divine Aid.
Divine
where
Aid.
basically It's divine intervention, but it adds like, so there's a DC based on what I'm asking for intervention on, but I think it adds like a plus 10 disapproval to my future rolls. So like, it's a Hail Mary.
Yeah. And then for spellcasting, you can initiate potentially you can initiate a counterspell.
Oh, does everybody just get to do that if you're a spellcaster?
If you're a spellcaster, yes. I believe the conditions are you need to have the same spell in order to counter it, or something that works in the opposite of that spell.
So if I have a spell that, like, if someone casts light and I have darkness, I can use that as a counter spell, as a reaction?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, not as a reaction, as long as you are next in the order. So there's no reactions in this game. If the person is at the top of the order and they're casting light and you have darkness, you can say that for your turn, you're casting darkness to counterspell their light.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole table and a whole thing that is counterspell.
Okay.
And essentially it's a battle between, you guys have like your own sub game.
Yeah.
Where you roll dice, compete with each other, depending on what your dice is, it's a table. Compare it on the table and what happens.
Okay.
The worst of it, and like when it gets crazy again in this game, is like planar leveling shit. Like crazy things can happen. Spell duels. Let me see what I just give an example of counterspell power. If the attacker is higher, reflect and overwhelm. The attacker spell takes effect at a normal spell check result. The defender spell is reflected back on him at normal spell check.
I almost want to take darkness so that you could just write light in there so that we could play with that.
Yeah. I mean, if we get the chance to, if you guys are into it and kind of like...
Well, I imagine we'll just share our character sheets with you and you could do whatever involvement of things.
Sure. I was just thinking if we do get to run like a higher level version of this game, that's probably where something like a counterspell battle might actually happen. But if it happens here, then sure. If a counterspell battle does happen during this game, I have less reason other than exploring the 2 action dice. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I have less reason to run like a higher level game.
More spells, higher chance at higher level spell casting.
Yeah. Seeing the
effects,
it's
still worth it.
Yeah, seeing the effects of like higher level spell casting is definitely interesting. Would love to see one of you run a wizard to see corruption. But we'll get there when we get there. Gray, any other questions?
Is 2-weapon fighting a thing in this?
2-weapon, yes. You, I believe you changed the deed die or the action dice that you were operating in. So like
So instead of rolling a single d20, I'll be rolling 2 d16s? Or
yes, I believe so. Something along those lines. Let me double check for you. Where is this goddamn thing? I swear I've seen it. Oh, there it is. 2-weapon fighting. With significantly high agility, a character can wield a light weapon or a lightweight secondary weapon such as dagger, short sword, or knife in their offhand when using a sword or other primary weapon in their natural hand. The character typically attacks using a smaller dice, depending on the hand and the character's agility, as shown on table 4.3. The table is based on the dice chain, 1, blah, blah, blah. So the 2-weapon attacker, less likely to hit, but blah, blah, blah. All right, so what is your agility for your character, your agility score?
15.
15. You take a -1 dice to your main hand, a -2 dice to your offhand.
So that'd be a 16 and a
16 and 14.
14.
And you also cannot score a critical hit fighting two-handed.
Do you throw your deeds onto both of them?
I would believe so. I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't know if your deed dice is only once per turn. I don't think it is.
As prior to any attack, so.
Yeah, prior to any attack roll. Yeah, so you'd be able to add your deed dice to both.
That's a rough penalty, though, for a lack of critical hits.
It is. I mean, it gives you 2 attacks when you would normally get 1. It looks like your agility would have to be 16 to get the critical roll on your primary.
Where's that table?
It is page 94 on mine. It is in the section that talks about. It's in the combat section.
I see it. 2-weapon fighting.
Yeah. And then around that page, either the previous page or the page after will have the... I don't know what the PDF looks like. The PDF pages are slightly different.
I think I was just giving you the PDF page instead of the page number on the page. That's why I was wrong.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
It's also, I don't know what edition my book is and what edition that PDF is. I just re-downloaded that PDF. I was going to give you guys on here. Because you both are going to be rolling on the same crit table. I just want to give you guys some taste of what you can do. So a roll of a 5 is a smash foe's nose, an explosion of blood, inflict an additional 1d6 damage with the strike, and the foe loses their sense of smell for 1d4 hours. An 8, which is the highest that Sov can score on it, is blow caroms off skull, deafening foe for 1d6 days, inflict plus 1d6 damage with the strike. And the max that Gray can roll is blow to cranium staggers foe. The foe must make a fortitude save, 10 plus PC level, or sink to the floor unconscious. Pretty good crit.
I read the crit fail table as well.
Yeah. And then if you guys have any questions, you can ask me, but also we can go with your equipment. Is there, with the gold that you guys have access to, is there equipment that you'd like to buy? Purchase?
I have no idea. I'm still on my spells.
Okay. Gray?
I was looking at that earlier. Hold on. You want to find that page again?
I will also say narratively, the owner of that the store with the special items that you got, like the sandals and whatever, if you still have those items, he'd be willing to trade you the value of gold of those items. In order to, you are allowed to keep them, but in case you wanted to just swap those for gold.
Okay, I think I got my spells. Blessing, which is like boons to success. Holy Sanctuary, which creates like a safe space. Second Sight, it's augury.
Cool.
Just having foresight. And Word of Command, which is a single word.
Yeah. I mean, that's like command word in 5e. The command word specifically is one word.
I don't know about command word, but I know command in general is not.
Yeah.
Command is one word.
I don't think command is one word.
Command is one word.
It should be one word.
Is it? I thought it was supposed to be just
flee.
short. I don't think it's supposed to be one word. I could be wrong about that.
From what I remember, it should just be one word.
Microphone's coming apart. Okay, so you were saying equipment.
Yeah, if you want to, you already, you're keeping the mace and the shield.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to keep those.
But you can get armor if you want to. There are penalties to armor. So just going too high in the armor is going to cost you something. So just be aware of that.
Is there always a cost? Can I wear armor of the lowest kind to not have a cost?
So
what page is armor?
Armor in the book is page 72.
72?
Yeah. The lowest one that doesn't have a penalty is padded. it still increases your fumble dice. And then you have padded leather, studded hide, scale mail, chain mail, banded mail, half plate, full plate, and then your shields. Technically, your shield is adding a -1 to your check penalties.
I don't know why I don't see the armor. I see equipment.
There should be a table that's around that area called
Mounts and related gear. Oh, armor. Oh, I'm just dumb. What's the fumble dice for?
So on the fumble table, normally without anything, your fumble dice is a D4 when you fumble.
Mm-hmm. If you wear armor, your fumble dice goes higher?
Yes. You have a higher chance of hitting the higher numbers in the fumble table.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll just take padded armor. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to go with leather armor.
Okay. So just 20 gold for you.
And
then 5 gold for Sov.
Another dagger. So 23 gold.
Cool. And feel free to spend for equipment that you want to get. Any sort of ammunition. I trust you guys on spending your gold. And also if you guys wanted to get mounts.
You want to get mounts? Are we a mount party?
I do not have that kind of money anymore.
How much is a mount?
Do I have to buy a holy symbol as a...
Do you not have one already? Did your character not?
Nope.
Well then yes.
Damn. What would I use that for?
Spellcasting, I believe.
In what sense? I can't cast with that one.
Let me double check for you. It might also be for your...
I think it's for some of my feats.
It might not be directly related to spellcasting, but it could be your feats.
How much money did you start with, Gray?
25 gold and 31 copper.
Okay. I think I started with 33 gold. Oh no, I have loads of money. 53 gold. Fucking hell. You want a horse? Yeah, we can't buy no mounts. Yeah, you can buy a donkey.
If a short bow costs 25 gold, I don't think you could buy a real mount with 50. Yeah.
It looks like Turn Unholy is the only one.
Still, worth having.
Yeah, Turn Unholy is the only one that directly calls for the use of your symbol.
Definitely going to get a sling. And I need ammunition for the sling?
Yes.
Stones? Sling stones, yeah.
Yeah, sling stones.
I'm broke again. Although I imagine I'm not as broke as Gray over there.
I'm broke.
Mm-hmm. I haven't done the math yet, but I'm not as broke as you. Yeah, I still got 20 gold.
That's not bad.
No, it's nearly as much as he started with. Can I lend my gold to him?
Why not? If you guys are a party.
Are we a party?
Yeah.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah.
About that.
Do you want gold, or should I buy us 2 mules?
I don't need anything.
Do you want two mounts?
Sure.
Okay.
You guys got 2 mules?
Mm-hmm. I think I have enough for that. Okay. And then... All right. Should we take this opportunity? I can go print the character sheets?
Sure.
Do you want to send me them?
Yes. What?
Because right now, with no this is the first time I've ever made a character without a character sheet. And for the record, this is the least clean way I've ever had to make a character. This is my character sheet currently.
That's
just two pages of notes, and it doesn't cover everything. Like for Turn Unholy, all I wrote was Turn Unholy, and the page number that Turn Unholy is on. Gray, if you would like to send me anything to print as well, more than welcome to.
I don't have any of that.
Although we could also do that. I'm fine with I could do that as homework. So like I'm probably gonna put together a page that has my feats on it as well as my spells. I don't know how much you have any of that stuff.
I just need a warrior sheet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines of notes. And really they're all just things I gotta put a plus into my sheets for, so.
Yeah. Well, a warrior versus a mage.
A warrior, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a cleric.
Yep. I would say at the end of this, I'll go print them and we'll finalize our pages, talk about our characters a little bit, and then I would love to hear just off the top of your head as much as you would like to go into what the other options were, what the other classes are like.
Sure. Just
so that our listeners can have an idea of DCC.
Files. Give me 1 second. Yeah. All right, I sent them to you on Discord. What else to go over for just you guys in general? You have your deed dice. Deeds are, again, specific and superfluous. Yes, there are specific ones if you want to enact the specific ones, but generally, I think it's just, if you want to get creative, there's just kind of a vibe. You can vibe out what deed you want to run. You have your weapon. It doesn't matter. It sucks. It doesn't matter. You're fucking... I was hoping that +3 would have given you some sort of...
No, I started with 8 luck.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just also remember in this game, for you, luck could be used at any time to boost your attacks. Luck doesn't heal. You don't have anything specifically that lets you use any of your other scores. You have your weapon, you have your armor, you have a mule now. Cool. Anything else? Again, there's a whole orders thing when it comes to warriors, but it's more of like, I think this in-world fiction than anything. It's like Order of the Dragon, an association of highborn knights founded with the intention to crush the pernicious deeds of the perfidious enemies of law and the followers of the evil dragons. The order is sponsored by the king, who serves as presiding officer, and all members display a dragon sigil on their shield. If you want to, you can create an order for your, give a little like leeway if you want to be a part of an order.
No, that sounds like stuff they add to a game for players or DMs who just don't have a world for themselves to play in.
Also, apparently, you'd have dues. You have ties and dues of 10 gold pieces.
Yeah, it's a little... Oh, hey, you guys just came from this place that was destroyed by the undead. What order are you a part of?
Yeah.
As a brand new adventurer who just survived a massacre.
Yeah, I feel like...
I'm part of the Order of Landed Knights. Because I just became a knight somehow.
I think the way I would treat it would be... It would happen in world. There'd be an order to which you would be associated. Like something would happen.
Yeah, there would be a process where like you went to the Knights of Ra and
you went to a town, you did something great
or whatever.
The order there recognizes you, walks up to you and says, "Hey, do you want to join us?"
Yeah. We get into any thieves guild.
Yeah.
Order.
Well, yes. Technically Gray is a bandit. So
are you technically a bandit?
That's what the title's called.
That's funny. A bandit and an acolyte walk into a bar.
What would have been your chaotic name would have been a zealot if you were chaos.
We're such a weird group.
It is a very
but at least we got a mule each. 2 mules.
It is a strange assortment. I mean, but in terms of like, did you want to go over the other stuff?
Well, I'm just waiting to print the character sheets so we can finalize them.
Okay, cool.
And then I figured we can go over our characters.
Okay, sounds good. And then,
I mean, we could just go over our characters. It's fine. We could do that. We could do that stuff a little bit later because, like, I mean, it's kind of crazy to me. I did want to ask, like, man, there's nothing about my ability scores that improve.
let me double
When do ability scores improve? Because my ability scores at level 0 are abysmal, and like, I can't imagine that you're just running consistently with zeros all the time.
In classic games, your ability scores didn't improve outside of Magic.
Yeah, I know. I understand the concept, but do you normally start with only zeros and negatives in classic games?
If you rolled bad.
So that's what I'm wondering. Is this just a really poorly rolled character? Yeah, it must be because, like, I'm looking at the other characters on the sheet from our session 0, and they were much better.
I mean, the true classic way is to just roll 3d6 down the line.
Yeah, that's gross.
I believe this is a 3D4 system.
3d4?
I believe that's how stats are created.
So you got no upper limit. Well, I mean, I have a 15.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a
15 and a
17.
14. There's no way this is a 3d4.
Okay. Because I swear I saw.
I'm pretty sure it says on the top. It's roll mode 3d6. It says on the top.
Because one of the options when you create level 0 characters, or at least in the thing I used to generate, is it's a 3d4 or 4d4 minus the lower. So like it changes your range, but it gives you, I guess, more of the middle range.
That would be a fun way to do, like, level 0 to level 1 would be like, it's a 2d6 for the funnel. And then when you level up to level 1, you get to roll an extra d6 on all of your abilities.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be neat.
Let's see.
This character sheet is abysmal, by the way.
Yeah.
I have a -1 in strength, a 0 in agility, a 0 in stamina, a -1 in personality, a -3 in intelligence, and a 1 in luck. It's just an awful, awful, awful character.
My woodcutter, who died first on my side, had the best set of stats, which is just a +1 to everything but stamina. But he also had 1 HP. So.
Oof.
The character I never brought in has a +2 to strength. It has a 17. And then +1 to personality. And then 2 -1s, 2 zeros. So, let's think about D&D for a moment, non-classic, but like 5e, right? So yeah, you might only have a +1 or +2 in things. It's not uncommon. Maybe a +3 for your biggest stat. Maybe. But you also get proficiency with certain things.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of things that you get proficiency in skills. So that's immediately a +2 in the beginning, or a +3? +2.
+1. Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure you start with +2.
Pretty sure it goes like 1, 2, 3.
It's like 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 6, 6, 6.
Yeah, something like that.
Either way, just immediately out the gate, you're getting a positive to almost every, not almost everything, but a lot of things.
You're getting at least a +1 bonus.
Yeah. And then, like, as you level up too, that bonus becomes greater.
Yeah, and then all those things get bigger.
Yeah. But I don't see any proficiency system in here. So it looks to me like Esper's always going to be a terrible caster. Like, based on the rolls, it's personality, right? So I have a -1. It's a d20 plus personality plus caster plus luck. So what's the caster?
A caster level. So what is your caster?
1?
It's 1.
No, I'm asking. What's caster? Where's caster on my sheet?
Your level in your class.
My level.
Yeah.
I'm level 1.
Yeah. So you have a +1 because of your
that
caster
applies to a lot of things too. I think I get a +1 as being a level 1 warrior for some things. I'm not sure which though.
Okay. So
like if you become a level 5 cleric, you have a +5.
yeah. Okay, that works then. That's your proficiency.
Yeah.
That's D&D proficiency then. That makes sense. Okay. Because I was going to say...
You also have a +2 attack that you get just from your levels. So like a level 2 cleric has a +1 to attack.
Okay, I'm just not there yet.
It's on the table. It's as you get more and more efficient.
Yeah. Okay. Because I have a -1 to my personality. It would take me 4 score points to ever get, so that's never going to happen, to get a 0. And then, so that becomes, because I'm level 1, a 0. And then I have 1 luck mod, but at some point I'm going to spunk that, which means I have a +1 to casting.
Yeah.
And that's, the level thing makes sense. So the level, that actually is fine. Because that gets powerful. You get like a fucking +10. Oh no, because it's a 5 cap system, right?
10 is the
cap
highest.
system. Okay.
At least that they specifically...
So mid-level, you're getting a +5.
Yeah.
And if you have any other bonuses, still horribly rolled caster, but
Again, you could sacrifice your score points. So you can like...
For temporary, or is it for permanent?
No. It's for casting a specific spell.
Yeah. So it's temporary.
Yeah.
I could make my character worse to pass once.
Yeah. And then that affects your luck sign bonus or whatever that is. So what's your luck sign bonus?
No, so as part of spellcasting, he can sacrifice his other scores.
Yeah. I could.
His other scores.
So like I have a strength of 8. I could dip that.
They could just
by 8 and be like +8 to this spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it heals 1 per day.
So you gotta go to sleep for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is how I'm gonna have to run Esper, is to just have her, what's called spell burn.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to have her spell burn all of her fucking stats.
Continuously become an invalid.
Yeah.
First goes my strength. I can't walk. Somebody carry me.
Yeah. First my strength, then my agility, then my stamina, then the rest of my intelligence, then my luck. Actually, it'd be luck first. You'd probably want to slam luck as quickly as possible because luck restores.
Luck.
Oh no, luck doesn't restore once per day though.
Luck does not restore once per day.
Yeah, luck comes and goes as events happen or whatever.
Yes, luck can be granted by the success of things.
Why do I have a mace and a shield with a -1 to hit?
Because the mace gives you +1 to attack unholy.
I got a 0 to hit anything that's not one of my unholies. I do like that system though. I think that's a really neat system. The fact that my unholies. So going over my cleric, I have turn unholy, which kind of gives me a level of command over unholy things.
Yeah. Oh, and also, do you have an expanded list of what unholy creatures are?
Yeah. So I was going to go into that. So I have the turn unholy, and then one of my spells, I believe. Oh, I'm not using it, but I could have a spell. Protection from evil, which also would protect me from my unholy creatures. And based on my god, my unholy creatures are undead, demons, devils, chaotic extraplanar creatures, monsters, chaos prime creatures, chaos humanoid creatures, and chaotic dragons. So if I'm dealing with any of those things, I have a sense of command over them, and I could potentially have protection from them if I chose that spell, which is neat. And then I have your classic healing. And then it doesn't say that there's a level to it. Clerics just inherently have divine intervention. There's a huge cost to it, though. Essentially, the moment I use divine intervention, I have to go through a campaign of sacrifice in order to ever be able to cast magic again. It's pretty gnarly. Because it's so in order I get basically disapproval from my god if I fail at casting. So my critical failure goes up by 1, right? So right now, let's say it's just a 1 is my critical fail thing. If I fail a spell, it becomes 2. And then I have to go and sacrifice something in order to gain that back down to a 1 for my critical fails, right? My fumbles. If I use divine intervention at any point, that number becomes an 11 immediately. And I have to sacrifice, let's say, what would be a favor equivalent to 50 gold pieces. I have to do that 10 times to get it back down to just a natural 1 being my fumble table. I would have anything 11 or lower is a critical failure. And that's me losing spells and shit. And it would grow. So if I tried to cast spells at that point, I'm almost guaranteed to increase that disapproval. I just become essentially a classless character.
I feel like some of these rules are made with the idea of putting role play into rule sets.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of like it though. I like the idea that I immediately get access to divine intervention, but it's a fucking heavy cost.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to like 5th edition where you got to be like 10th level cleric to do it.
Yeah, and then it's free.
Yeah, and you could do like once every 30 days without any real penalty, I think.
Yeah. I also like the lay on hands. I have to have a damn good reason to heal, like you, as an example. I can't just heal you. I have to have a good reason for it because you are chaotic. I am lawful. My God is lawful. I like that. I'd have to roleplay into that.
Another thing to be aware of is dying in this game. Level 0 characters, once they hit 0 HP, are just die. They just die.
Mm-hmm.
For you, because you guys are leveled, depending on your level, I think it was, or your hit dice, you have that many turns where you are bleeding out. You're in the bleeding out condition. So you can be healed, and I believe you hit 0 or you heal for that much. Once you exit out of the bleeding out, your character is quote unquote dead, because there is a chance that within an hour, if an ally checks on you, they roll a luck dice to see whether or not you're alive.
Oh, so you're bleeding out.
To be healed immediately, you can then re-enter. You can do like the...
Yeah. Otherwise, you are bleeding out for a certain amount of rounds that you could act normally?
No, you're unconscious on the floor.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're 0 health points and you're unconscious on the ground.
For a number equal to whatever the stat is.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's your level.
Yeah. So 5 rounds.
Yeah. And
if you're
then,
level 5.
And then within an hour, if nobody heals you in that round limit, you're technically dead. Within an hour, if an ally reaches you, they can make a luck check to see whether or not you survived. So they check on your corpse and they wriggle you around.
So if nobody heals you or checks if you survive, you do just die.
You do just die.
Schrodinger's corpse.
Was that?
Schrodinger's corpse.
Yes, it is a Schrodinger's corpse moment. Did I break up what you were talking about before?
I don't know.
Did you talk about your character?
No.
Do you want to talk about your character?
There's not much to talk about. Where it's just kind of do their thing.
Pretty straightforward fighter, I imagine.
Yeah. It's I mean, they kind of have like.
Well, the deed thing's cool.
It's kind of like how in Pathfinder 1E there's a bunch of like things that you can do as a fighter. Like you have
2E has that as well.
Yeah, 2E has it as well. I think I've added it in my personal systems. Where you just have like, oh, I want to do a sunder attack. I want to, break this guy's armor. Or I want to try to disarm this guy. I want to tackle this guy. I want to jump onto this guy and drag him to the ground, stuff like that. So warriors have like all those things it can do. And there's no specificity as to what you can do. It kind of really is just like the think up something, and if it's possible within that action and your judge allows it, if you roll for it, you can do it.
Yeah. I think that's really cool. It's like a battle master without
it's kind of like battle master,
without being too strict on what your things are.
Yeah, without fully laying
without
out.
having to choose specific ones.
Yeah.
You just have battle master, you have access to all of battle master.
It's the book kind of gives credence to the ability to let it be judge's discretion.
Yeah.
So like there are specific ones laid out in the book that you could choose from, but it's like in the text, it's like, but yeah, figure it out what you're doing with your warrior.
I dig that. I could see like having a system where you essentially, as a warrior, just get an extra check against a DC based on what you're trying to do. So like, if you're trying to disarm, maybe as an example, that might be an easier one. It's like, oh yeah, roll your fighter stat if you're dex based or strength based against DC 10. So like first you have to hit, right? And then you get to do this extra check. And if you beat the DC 10, sure, yeah, you disarm. So you have to beat a subsequent check to do it. But if you're like, oh yeah, I want to, like the stupid shit I was trying to do in the session 0, or sorry, the funnel, where it's like, oh yeah, I want to pierce my arrow through the first guy into the second guy. And it's like, well, that's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like DC 15 now to be able to do that thing. And it's just GM discretion or GM.
I think in the book, it's a roll of 4 on the deed.
Yeah. Oh, it's just, it's kind of, it happens or it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you have like a deed threshold, right?
Yeah. It's like,
but everything other than the highest is a failure?
No, everything other than 3 is a failure.
Really?
Yeah, so the higher as you level up, the higher your deed dice becomes, the easier it is to actually perform your deeds.
Yeah, so with your first deed dice, you got a 33% chance to do your deed. And then afterwards, it gets bigger and bigger to the point where you're probably just going to be doing your deeds all the time. Just you're not going to do them the best.
What do you mean you're not going to do them the best?
So like the deed goes up to like 8 or 12.
There's like level of success on the deed dice. So if you hit a 4 on your deed, it is like, let's say it's a D4 added to the attack. If you have a 5 that you roll, it's a D5 that you add to the damage bonus. Plus, like, there's nuances in there about what it means to have a 4 or 5
isn't it the
success.
same roll too? So like if you have a D5 as your deed die and roll a 5,
you get the highest.
That 5 becomes also the damage.
Yeah, your deed dice becomes the damage, then you get the extra D5 from the deed.
Yeah,
actually really fucking cool. I kind of want to just put that into D&D.
It gives you a lot of extra damage because when you think about it like that, it is let's say at your level, you roll a 3, which succeeds your deed. You not only get that +3 to your attack and to your damage bonus, but the deed itself gives you an extra D3 of damage. So you roll that again. You could potentially get +6 damage on a successful deed.
That's cool. I dig that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is like a way more freeform version of the Battlemaster.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But other potential options were there's a Thief, and very similar to 5e if you're used to 5e. They have a set of skills. They have like the disguise, pickpocket. There's climbing up surfaces, there's picking locks, and of course, like everything else in this game, it's all tables.
Yep, that's just like a AD&D 2e.
Way too many tables in this game. Like it's going to be like, I can tell you right now when we start playing, well, maybe not at level 1, but like, can you imagine trying to run this at level 5 or level 10, where it's just like you have so much health, so much AC, things are missing all of the time, and when they hit, it's like 5 minutes to look at fucking tables.
well, that's the thing is the tables are going to be from when you're hitting, because again, there is no increasing your base scores. Your base scores are your base scores.
Dude, I'm a spellcaster. Every time I cast a spell, we have to address a table.
Spellcasting, yes. Spellcasting is a nightmare because of that. Because you have to address the table, look at the table, your chance of success. Are you spell burning? That's going to change everything using luck. The level of tables are crazy. It's not quite like AC is AC because that doesn't really change.
Yeah.
Your armor is whatever armor you pick. But then again, depending on the armor you pick, that changes the table that you roll on and blah, 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 blah.
In that sense, it does, by the way, remind me of Pathfinder 2e. I don't know what 1e was like, but in Pathfinder 2e, yeah, there are consequences to higher armor.
Yeah.
Like each armor has its own like attribute or feat or whatever, like some of them or tags. Each one has its own tag. So like some of them have the sneak tag. You could sneak in them or something like that. I have a very little understanding of Pathfinder, but this is just what I recall from the one time I played it. And then some of them, they lower, when you put them on, like the really heavy ones, they lower your dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like your ability to move, your ability to like sneak and stuff becomes less.
Yeah.
It just naturally by putting it on.
And if any of you want wizard or wizard as an option, it is like a warlock where you have to pick a patron. That's how magic works in this world. You have to pick a patron
For wizards?
For wizards. Examples in the book are the King of Elfland, which is the Fey ruler of the lands beyond Twilight, and Yggdrasil, the world root. But you get a familiar. Luck applies to your corruption rolls because that's the whole thing with wizards.
You get a permanent, not a spell familiar. You get a familiar as a feat.
It's your ability. It's one of the abilities.
I like that. I have a player that is using Find Familiar as like a default.
Yeah.
Just constantly having Find Familiar. And it's great because it's allowed for me to take on that as like an NPC.
Yeah.
Instead of it being this extra thing. But it is an extra thing in 5e. It sounds like in this it's not, which is really cool.
Well, it does use the Find Familiar spell, this game's version of Find Familiar, but
Sure.
it is just a feat of a wizard. You just get the ability to to have a familiar.
That's cool. I like that.
There are dwarves, which also have the Mighty Deed of Arms. They are sword and board. They have infravision, which is they can see in the dark up to 60 feet. Let's see. You have underground skills.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question and it's greedy.
Yes.
But go ahead, finish what you're doing, but just remind me, I have a question and it's greedy.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's that much different than the warrior. It's pretty close to the warrior.
Which one is? Sorry?
The dwarf. What's with luck? Luck at first level, the dwarf's modifier applies to attack rules with one specific kind of weapon. Just as warrior does, this kind of weapon must be chosen first level and minor, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's very much similar to a warrior.
Are those, so there's only a few playable races.
Yeah.
Do you know if within the lore of DCC, there are only a few races in the world?
I would assume, based off of the default lore, that is the case. That it is. There's only a few of the mythical races that are accepted by the civility of the world.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's halfling, dwarf, elf, and then like orcs, goblins, all those kinds of other races are treated as monsters.
Yeah, those safe human-looking ones.
Yes.
I have a take the damage style question for Gray. In your world building, I know you have very specific, the elves are over here type deal. When a player comes in and wants to play something special, I don't know how often that happens.
It's happened
It's happened
multiple times.
where they're like, "Hey, I want to come in and I want to be a tabaxi." Do you make them a rare creature in the world, or do you make them the only creature of that kind and in their backstory and what, or do you just kind of adapt your world to implement it?
So first I show them the door,
And that's a reasonable enough answer. I genuinely,
which is the little X on the top right corner of whatever program we're
Alt
using.
F4.
But well, with the world that I run my games in, I kind of hit that like beast man loophole by having a special race called Beastling, which is if you want to be, I want to be a cat person.
Sure.
Like, okay, well, take a look at Beastling. Here's like the cat and the lion. You could be those things there. You have to know though, if you take this mutation, because it is a mutation, you've been experimented upon by an alchemist or a wizard.
Okay.
You will take on these feats and you'll be seen as some sort of weird, inhuman creature that people are not going to like outside of this specific town.
Sure. Okay. Just curious, because like I've handled it in various ways, and it really, one, it depends on the player's ask, and two, it depends on my world, obviously, because I create different worlds all the time. But like I have a player that's playing a Loxodon, and it's just kind of canon. They're like, they exist, but they're just not common.
Yeah.
So they walk, and they're not like hated or anything, but they walk around and they exist, but they're not common in the world. And then I had a different player that wanted to play, we're using the Centaur like stat block, but they're playing a Servitor. Doesn't really matter. And then, but like they had ideas on how like they hoped it would interact with the world. And considering I didn't write that into my world at all, I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I just added like, I don't know, a couple paragraphs of history into my world of them existing. And the way they wanted to do it is that like they're kind of like in camps out in the wild, like small little villages or whatever. And it was like, oh yeah, it's super easy to incorporate. So like sometimes I will full on incorporate, and then sometimes I just like, oh yeah, you don't see many of those around.
Now I've been asked like, are there orcs or goblins in here? I'm like, no, there are no orcs or no goblins. No, I'm not making them.
In the whole world?
Yes.
Or just not as playable?
In that world.
Oh,
There are no orcs, there are no goblins.
interesting.
So
That's funny.
I when I made that world, I kind of wanted to differentiate it from the currently existing fantasy worlds.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
So-
my plan for the one game that I wanted to make that I'm no longer talking about with you guys because I don't want to otherwise influence you guys by reminding you of the tale. But originally it was going to be my own lore of like the birth of creatures and the pantheon and everything like that within the world, which is a big part of the campaign that I want to run. And it was going to be elves and humans and orcs originally. I think now I've steered away from that, and I think I'm just going to make my own, other than humans, I'm just going to make my own creatures. And there is no lore to call upon for other things.
Sure.
The ones that like obviously very heavily influenced by elves and heavily influenced by orcs from various mediums. But yeah, I'm just going to make my own creatures. And in that world, no, like there's like 5 things in this world. Pick one. Actually, in that, with the only campaign that I really care about running, one day maybe I'll want to play more in the world. But the campaign that I really, really want to run, because it's an epic, right? It very much has to do with the world and how the world turns. Some of the characters, depending on how big the party is, at least 3 of the characters are pre-designated races for that campaign. So like, there's not even a choice. It's like, hey, which character do you want to play? Because the backstory and the backstory for 2 of them is pre-written. You can write your own personality and whatnot and how you interacted with it, but the backstory is pre-written and the race is pre-written because it's pertinent to the story. And then the third one, the race is pre-written, and then it's kind of up to the character to a crazy degree what their backstory is, but their backstory does need to lead to them willing to play the hook, if that makes sense. But yeah, I was just curious. I was curious how you incorporate when people are like, I want to be a Kalistar.
No, sorry. Old Terra is Old Terra.
That's funny. I was just curious. I'm going to join your games and be like,
I want to be
in Fallen Azimar.
Okay, well, you see there's a little X button on the top right of Discord there.
That's how you get to the stat block.
The last 2 options in this game in DCC are elf, which is essentially a mix of like warrior and wizard. Casting ability, bunch of weapon training ability, pick a patron, infravision, immunity to sleep and paralysis, and also a vulnerability to metal or to iron. Prolonged exposure to iron causes 1 point of damage.
Interesting.
And then halflings, which I think is probably one of the more interesting classes, is automatically gets 2 weapon fighting and their own version of it. They crit on they hit with 2 D16s and they crit on the 16 roll. They also have like stealth and small size bonuses. Their luck burn costs are equals double. So for each point of luck they burn, they get 2 points of benefit. And they also heal their luck.
That's very neat.
So halflings are the only class that gets their luck returned.
Actually, with my... Oh, I could ask my greedy question now, I guess.
Oh, go for it.
But part of my greedy question does lead to what I was about to say, which is we are going to explore with my bunked ass fucking character stats the fascinating part of this game, which I do find the resource of luck very fascinating.
Sure.
And with my character, essentially all of my stats are luck stats, except for the singular fact that, oh no, shit, my luck is added to my rolls. Luck is not the thing I probably want to draw on the most. Probably is my abilities. Sorry, I just realized as a caster I add luck.
For casting,
so I don't want to burn my luck.
Yeah, for casting, the thing you want to rely on is all of your other ability scores.
Yeah.
And also probably not your strength, because you use that for hitting, especially if you're going to be a mace wielder. So it's going to be like your agility, which is going to affect your AC, your stamina, which is going to affect your fortitude saves.
I will need that math for like my AC. In fact, why don't you pop that fat old book open? I need the math on how agility affects AC, how strength affects whatever strength affects. If it's just attack rolls, it doesn't matter.
I believe it's the same modifier table for everything. So
yeah. So
what is your current
right now? So AC by default is 10.
I believe so. What is your score?
Hold on.
What is your score on there? Just so if it is 10, so we can read it. Like if there's
my score for stamina is for agility is 11.
11, and your AC is 10.
And my AC is 10 because I have a 0.
Because you have a 0 bonus.
So 10 is default, and then it's whatever my mod is. It's 10 plus my mod, whether that's a plus or minus.
Yes.
Okay, that's easy because I already have. If it's the same rules, so 9 through 12 equals 0, 6 through 8 equals.
So
1.
if you can dip down to 9 without affecting anything.
Yeah. So that one's easy. What does strength affect?
Strength affects your to hit.
Only. No reflex, no fortitude, no will.
Reflex is your agility. Fortitude is your stamina.
Okay, hold on. And then fortitude is stamina.
Yeah, fortitude is your stamina. And I believe will is your personality.
That makes sense when I have a -1. Just like real life. And intelligence drives nothing?
Intelligence drives your... I think it's more related to skills than anything. I don't think there's anything on the sheet that it directly drives.
Good, because I have a -3.
So it's like investigation. I think classically, like how you would use intelligence in like 5e is usually what intelligence is used for.
So, here's my greedy question.
Sure.
I know I believe it's the DMG, it has a suggested thing for, or maybe this is just a homebrew thing, I don't know. It is like an optional thing where when you roll your stats, it's like below 65.
Sure.
That's a bunk character reroll.
Yeah, that's an optional rule.
Yeah.
It's a homebrew rule or it might be in the DMG, but I've always
as an optional rule though, I believe.
I've always considered it as a...
I believe it is optional if it's even in there. I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah, it is an alternate rule in the DMG if it is in there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I believe like Mercer's the one who's like, at least that I remember, like really popularizing it. If you're like below this number, just reroll your character.
So my question would be, is there anything optional like that in this book to your knowledge?
Not that I'm aware of at all. This book is very much...
Do you see why I say greedy question? I have the worst statted character. You would probably find it if it is in there. Just if you don't mind cracking it open. You would probably find it under character creation where you roll your stats, where it explains the stat rolling system. It would probably have an optional thing in there if it exists.
So roll ability scores is on page 18. So in character creation, you always roll 3d6.
Not 4 and take lower or take higher. Because oftentimes it's
a lot of times it's you take the best of 3 out of 4.
Yeah. So this is just roll 3.
This is roll 3.
Deal with it.
You always roll and apply the scores in that same order. You do not roll more dice and drop the lowest dice. You do not use a point-based buy system. And you do not assign ability scores in any order other than that defined above. Oh, sorry. So it is 6 ability scores for character creation. Roll 3d6 for each ability score listed below in the order of strength, agility, stamina, personality, intelligence, and luck. Why are we so explicit in the declaration of ability score process? Because you are an experienced gamer and you know many other ways to determine ability scores. The open beta process revealed that ability score generation is the very first rule to be overwritten by many players. This is your game, and you should feel free to adapt it as you wish. We do encourage you to buck tradition and try at least one game using the precise method described here. 3d6 straight down the line. It's a blast from the past and something you probably haven't attempted in a decade or more. However, should you decide to house rule otherwise, we expect this to be the place you begin. Your character score of 3 to 18 includes a modifier as shown in the table. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so. It allows...
Hey, nope. It allows, says,
yes.
Hey, please just try it this way.
Yes.
And therefore, I just got a bunked character. It's fine. I've never rolled a bunked character. I'm excited.
I mean, a lot of the stuff in this book is like that. Is like, hey, we know you can house roll around this, but we try the game this way.
Yeah, hey,
see if you like it.
Hey, try playing the game maybe. I love in our system that we're going to release one day, maybe G&G.
Yeah, maybe.
Where it's only a D4 because it is just the mod and it is all above 0.
There's no minuses.
Well, it's a D4 -1.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you could at worst have a 0 in something.
Yeah.
At worst, there are no negatives in that game.
Yeah.
And that is just from the creator, which is me, being like, God, I hate when people roll barbarians and just dump intelligence and then play them in a way that is disruptive at the table. You just can't do that in my game. You have 0. You're an average person.
And in this game,
play it average.
You can annihilate your intelligence to cast a spell.
I don't need to. I can't. Because I'm starting with a -3. I have 3 in intelligence. My score is 3, which means when you rolled 3d6, you got 3 ones for that character.
It can always be 1.
It could always be 0.
I believe zeros are like something happens.
Oh, goodness. So I can only dip into my intelligence for 2 points.
Yeah. It's the first one to go.
It's also like, dude, so I have that opinion. I hold the opinion that, hey, let your stats speak for you in roleplay as dice. Yeah. That is over all my opinion. If you have an 8 score and therefore a -2 in intelligence, or -2, -1, whatever. If you have a negative in intelligence, cool. You could still play your character as if they think they are intelligent. You can still try and solve the problem as much as you would try and solve the problem. Now, the 2 things that I would say for leading that into roleplay would be, 1, if there is an intelligent thing to be done, maybe you abstain. You don't have to disrupt the table. You don't have to intentionally do something foolish. But maybe playing into your sheet at that point means, I'm going to let the wizard figure it out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or, alternatively, try and solve it. Because I'm telling you right now, your -1 is going to speak to your character's intelligence enough where you just won't ever be able to solve things. So like anytime, like let your dice speak for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need to necessarily play super heavily into that. And sometimes it makes for great moments. Like, even though you know you're going to fail, you know, your friend is in danger and they are down. You go and you're like, there's only one thing to do. I'm going to attempt to pick up my friend and drag them off of the battlefield.
Sure.
Cool. Roll your die. What did you roll? A 12. Maybe. What's your modifier? -6. So yeah, you're not picking them up, but it gives an opportunity.
Sure.
The attempting gives an opportunity for your DM to paint the picture of like, yeah, your character is just not that strong and you are struggling to save your friend in this extremely dramatic, heated moment.
Sure.
But you just can't. And you realize that
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do to save them. It could play into such a great moment. You know what I mean?
Or even like something that the character's not good at but still succeeds. And so
even that where it's like, yeah, like, oh, you have a -6 or whatever and the DC's 14 and you get like a
crit
a dirty 20 or whatever. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you get something like a crit even, or even a 19 and it just beats or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, you as this scrawny caster muster up to the fallen barbarian and you put every ounce of adrenaline and muscle you have and you successfully drag them off the battlefield. That's a great moment.
Yeah. I think the brutality of this game in terms of stats and all that
intentional.
stuff, it's intentional. It's trying to harken back to the old version.
I was curious if the rule existed. If the rule existed, I was going to ask you to use it. It very heavily suggests against using it, so I will just roll with my shitty character.
I think, like Gray said, if the opportunity arises in the campaign that you play with this game, to the judge's discretion, if you wanted to make your character stronger, it would have to be something that happens in game. It could be talking to magic users. It could be talking to your god, doing a quest for your god.
I have that beyond D&D standard rules. I know you did this in one of your campaigns and I really liked it. So inspired by crafting rules, though I wrote my own crafting rules, which was inspired by classic crafting rules, I have my own training rules for 5e. It's like, yeah, you want to learn how to use cook's utensils? Practice.
Yeah.
I think that seems totally fair.
I think the difference in that is like usually those kind of things apply to a skill.
Yeah.
Versus actually increasing your scores.
I think I have it for training. In my rules is like you have to train with someone and you can only train up to their proficiency level. So like if someone is if you go to your bard and they're half proficient, or no, not your bard. Yeah, your bard. And they're half proficient in something, that's the only thing that you can achieve from training with them.
Yeah. If
they are an expert in something, then you can train up to expert in that skill.
Yeah, you're not going to become an artisan training with a journeyman.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen. And then it takes a long time.
Yeah, and in 5e, it allows for that. The fact that you have the proficiency bonus, it allows you to do that expert, that like the training increments where you get to add your thing to it. But man, this system doesn't explicitly have a proficiency. It has your bonus of your level of your thing, like of your character, but that usually is, at least in the book, applied very deterministically to certain things.
Yeah.
So like, again, I think the book, the way it's written is there's a lot of cheeky moments in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of, it's up to the judge and up to your players and how you want to play and like little things like that. If you want to try to, I think part of the game again is see how far you can go with a really badly rolled character.
Yeah.
Like just see, whatever. It's part of the funnel where like, or the character funnel, which is like, I
can't believe my stupid character is the one that beat the funnel.
I like wrote up a little like, a little page. The changes I made and I wrote up like an afterthoughts of the game for the funnel. I want to post to our Discord.
Sure.
Once the episode releases and everything.
We could post it on an episode too. We could post it on the Take the Damage episode because I intend to do that with our Take the Damage episode, is post up like our character sheets and our notes.
Yeah. I mean,
the Discord as well though. That'd be a good place.
Yeah, but to time it along the release of the funnel itself, but we could do it in the post show or the Take the Damage episode. But my thoughts on the funnel was I don't think I made it hard enough initially, just because of your characters.
Sure, but it was fun, and Gray grinded through two characters.
Yeah, I would have liked that to be a little bit more. I would have liked it to be,
but even a little bit more. It could have been me coming out with two characters, and well, I guess I could have just given him my other character. But yeah, it's just dangerous.
Yeah, it is. I'm just saying, like, my thoughts were, I would make things a little harder in some places. I would also have changed something so it's a little less strictly combat focused and not like combat and puzzle, which is what it was, which is like kill the heads.
I thought it was fun.
Get cursed, and then the last little like worms.
I will say, I thought I was cheesing the system. I thought it was going to be harder, so I saved my best character for last, and he never entered the fray. And now I have dumbass Esper.
I actually, my strategy, if I was to ever run a funnel, was in the 2-character system, is to have the worst character be my scapegoat character. I kind of keep the better character in the back if I can.
I was just so certain that all of my characters were going to die, and so I kept the best for last.
I was also rolling pretty poorly in that game.
Rolling poorly,
But
bane of all DMs. Like the most important moments in your campaign could be nothing because you roll poorly. Absolutely a thing.
I think optimally in running the funnel, I would have liked to have killed 6 characters.
I think the only reason why Esper stands a chance at all is because Dulcar was rolling so low and Esper saved the day twice. And it's like, even though you're an idiot, you did more.
Yeah.
By luck's chance of the dice, you did more. So like, yeah, I gotta go with Esper.
Who's
the idiot?
Was it Esper the one that was tanking all the curses?
Yeah. Oh, I was so certain she was gonna die. Esper also is the one that killed
my dwarf.
Gray's character.
Yeah.
Highest kill count.
Highest kill count.
That's good.
Genuinely highest kill count, because also just insta killed 2 of the babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're digging into take the damage territory, so I think we got to wrap up our session 0 here. But yeah, excited to jump in with Esper and
let's call her Alara.
Alara. What was her name?
I don't remember.
Bell. It's fine. Alara.
It's Alara Bell. Bell is the middle name.
Esper and Alara, a lawful cleric and a chaotic warrior, jumping into an adventure side by side on mules for no reason.
Yep.
And we will see you in session 1.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to System Exploration. As always, you can catch us over at our website or our Patreon. Links in the description. You can catch any of my links for my games as well as Gray's links for his streams in the description. And we will see you guys next time.
Oh, do you have any plugs?
That was the plugs. I just plugged them. I just said links in the description.
Oh.
It's fine.
Okay. Cool.
He covered it.
Cool.
Kisses.
Bye.